Hello, I am Dylan Quadros from Fairgrounds Middle School, bringing you the local school news. Fairgrounds Middle School Student Council has had a very busy year. The ongoing nursing home visits have been very successful for the students and the patients. Way to go, Student Council. Elections have been drawn, and the new Student Council president will be Clay Medling, and the vice president will be Kelsey Daw. Secretary will be Isabella Kutu, and the treasurer will be Tyler McCullum. For all other positions, please see Ms. Carvallis. Congratulations to all. Student Council has held a dance for the 7th and 8th graders, which had a big turnover. The 6th grade social was also a huge success. The PTO fundraiser went well. Hope everyone enjoyed their pizza, and big thank you to the PTO. The National Junior Honor Society has been busy on one of their members. Allison Reynolds wrote a letter to Miss Dottie of the Dottie Company, and they are generously donating a dogwood tree for Earth Day. There will be a small celebration period 3 Thursday in room 610, members and Miss Mitchell's class. The yearbook club has finished and the book should be in soon. Make sure you get yours. See Miss Carey when they come in. Fairgrounds Middle School students took a trip to New York City and had a great time touring and taking a look at Broadway shows. The Science Bowl is a high school and middle school academic competition similar to Jeopardy! 2 teams of the 4 compete to answer various science and math-related questions. Preparation for this year's Science Bowl started in October, meeting everyone Tuesday with Mr. Castangway, a FMS science teacher, and 2 assistants. The team went to meet and had a fierce battle with Lexington. Fairgrounds came in second. Outstanding, and congratulations to all the team members and coaches. Drama News, the club is working on a new show and dinner theater. The morning sports program is still going strong with over 50 students. If you would like to take part, see Mr. Jakowitz. Secretary Week was during the school vacation. We like to say that we have the best. They're always so kind and helpful. This has been Dylan Quadros with the school news. And if you have something to report, please feel free to contact Ms. G. And now David Fisher with the sports news.
Hello, sports fans. This is David Fisher with the latest in sports news. In softball, we Nashua North 6, Manchester Memorial 5. Winning pitcher was Gracie County, went the distance throwing all 7 innings, allowing 5 runs on 6 hits and striking out 9. Nashua North is now coming off of back-to-back wins. They defeated Nashua South on Saturday with a 19-9. Timberland beats Bishop Girton 15-0. Exeter beats Nashua South 14-2. Hollis Brooklyn beats Sanborn 6-5. Milford beats Trinity 6-1. Baseball, Timberland beats Bishop Girton 7-5. Wilton Limeboro beats Pittsfield 5-2. Sanborn beats Hollis Brookline 3-0. Exeter beats Nashua South 8-5. Merrimack beats Trinity 4-0. Goffstown beats Sohegan 6-5. Merrimack beats Trinity 4-0. Girls tennis, Hollis Brooklyn 9, Windham 0. Merrimack 6, Manchester Memorial 6-3. Nashua South 8, Dover 1. Salem 6, Alvern 3. Sohegan 5, Goffstown 4. Boys tennis, Bishop Girton 6, Nashua North 3. Nashua South 9, Dover 0. Salem 6 and Alvern 3. Goffstown 5, Sohegan 4. Boys lacrosse, Sohegan 14, Nashua North 9. Nashua South beats Manchester Memorial 15-1. Bishop Girton beats Manchester 18-1. Girls lacrosse, Merrimack beats Spalding 21-3. Portsmouth beats Bishop Girton 13-12. Nashua Middle School sports, girls softball, Fairgrounds Middle School beat Pennachuck Middle School 32-0. FMS lost to Mountain View Middle 14-13. FMS lost to Milford 16-1. FMS beat Hood 17-2. Boys baseball, FMS 0 wins, 4 losses, no other data at the moment. Street hockey has started. More info on that when it comes available.
Thank you. This has been Dylan Quadros and
David Fisher.
with the Fairgrounds Middle School News. And now, Sarah Shaughnessy as your shout-out girl and Ariana Battistone as your food critic.
Hi, I am Sarah Shaughnessy, your shout-out girl. A big shout-out to Miss Miller, Miss Keeley, and Miss Turcotte. Congrats on all those beautiful babies. Shout-out to all those on the Tiger team. Shout-out to the T-Ball Pirates team. Go Pirates. Shout-out to Mr. Nelson and Miss Coffee. Shout-out to the Drama Club. Shout-out to George Russell. We miss ya. Shout out to NM and SR. Shout out to Tyler. Grow your fro. Shout out to Miss Little. Love ya. Shout out to the Goobers. If you would like to hear a shout out, see me, Sarah Shaughnessy, in room 609 or Miss G. Now for our food critic, Ariana Battistone.
Good evening. I'm Ariana Battistone, your FMS food critic. This past week, I went to the Outback Steakhouse. I ordered a 6-ounce sirloin, cooked medium rare, perfectly, with a baked potato, nice and fluffy, seasoned well, and a fresh, crisp green salad. Delicious. My guest had the grilled shrimp over rice and said the shrimp were cooked to perfection, and the rice was seasoned nicely. We ordered the chocolate cake for dessert. It was so good, I'm going back and ordering that first. The recipe for this week will be a quick and easy open-faced sandwich. Serving 2. You will need 4 slices of bread, 4 slices of cheese, any kind, medium tomato sliced, 8 slices of bacon, and all you have to do is take 4 slices of bread, top with 4 slices of cheese, top with tomato, and crisscross 2 slices of bacon over the top of each tomato. Then broil till bacon turns crispy and serve with a salad. Enjoy! This has been Ariana Battistone. Happy eating!
This has been your shout-out girl, Sarah Shaughnessy, and now on to our Almanac girl, Shalice Rochella, and
Bella Baker Villarreal, our Nurse's Corner.
Hi, I'm Shalice Rochella here with the Almanac Report. According to the Almanac, the new moon is on the 9th of May at 8:28 p.m. Go out and take a look. Also, on the 9th, there will be a solar eclipse in the southern Pacific at 8:25. On the 10th, there will be a thin crescent moon near the northwest horizon at 8:32 p.m. The moon is at Pisces today, and then in Aries till the 9th, and then Taurus till the 12th. We just passed Cinco de Mayo. Hope you all celebrated the 5th. The Eiffel Tower in Paris opened in 1889, and the AMA was founded this month in 1847. Mother's Day is Sunday, the 12th. Here's a little gardening tip. Take your empty K-cups, fill them with soil, a seed, and water, let it grow, and transfer it to your pots or garden. The K-cups have a hole already in the bottom, and the filter helps keep the water in. Enjoy. This has been Shalice Rochella with the Almanac Report.
Hello, I am Isabella Baker Villarreal with Nurse's Corner. I will be coming to you each week with news and information from the school nurse's office. Let's begin at the beginning. We are looking forward to our incoming students from the elementary schools. We would like to remind you that it is New Hampshire state law that all 11-year-old students entering the 6th grade must have both the Tdap vaccine and a second dose of the chickenpox vaccine. The law states that the students cannot attend school until proof of vaccines has been received at the school. Parents, please check with your child's doctor's office to see if they have already received these 2 required vaccines. If yes, request a copy of your child's vaccinations from the doctor. Make sure that the Tdap and varicella number 2 are written. Bring that record to school for the nurse to enter into your child's school health record. If no, make an appointment for your child to receive these 2 vaccines. Ask for a copy and bring that copy to school. These medical records must be provided to the school by August 26, 2013, so that your child may attend the next day of school, the first day of school, on Tuesday, August 27th. If your child is interested in participating in school sports, you must provide a copy of the physical, which must be done after July 1st, 2012. You will need 2 copies, one for your sports paperwork, and one for the school nurse. Soccer tryouts are generally held the first week of school. All the required paperwork must be completed before attending any tryouts. This includes the sports package and the physical. Parents, you may want to consider having your child undergo impact testing. This is a simple computer test that measures verbal and visual memory, processing speed, and reaction time. The results of this test provide a baseline for future reference. Your child's primary care doctor can refer to a testing center. In the event your child suffered a concussion, your doctor can use the baseline as an ongoing assessment tool for your child's progress recovering from the concussion. This has been Isabella Baker-Villarreal with Nurses Corner. And now for Areli Curiel with Spanish News.
Hola, yo soy Areli. Les traeré las noticias locales de la escuela. El consulado estudiantil de la escuela intermediate Fairgrounds ha estado ocupadísimo este año. Las constantes visitas a hogar de ancianos han sido todo un éxito para los estudiantes y los pacientes. Adelante, consulado estudiantil. Las elecciones fueron realizadas y el nuevo presidente de consulado, Sir Clayton Medin, vicepresidente será Chrissy Doy, secretaria será Isabela Cantú y el tercero será Tyler McClellan. Para todas las otras posiciones, por favor, ven a la señora Carveles. Felicitaciones a todos. El consulado también auspició un vale para los estudiantes del 7 y 8 grado que atrajo un buen número. También la reunión social que llevaron a cabo para el grado 6 fue un gran éxito. Las recaudaciones de fondos que hizo la asociación de padres y maestros estuvo muy bien. Esperamos que todos hayan disfrutado sus pizzas. Muchas gracias a la PTO. La Sociedad Nacional de Honor ha estado ocupada. Uno de sus miembros, Alison Reynolds, escribió una carta a la señora Duty de la compañía Duty y ellos generosamente van a donar un para la celebración del Día de la Tierra. Este jueves habrá una pequeña celebración en el Salón 610. Los miembros de la Sociedad Nacional de Honor y las clases de señora Michelle, el Club de Libros del año ha terminado y los libros estarán disponibles muy pronto. Asegurarse de obtener el suyo. Ven a la Sierra Cari cuando estás lleguen. Los estudiantes de la escuela intermitente Fairgrounds fueron de gira a la ciudad de Nueva York y se la pasaron muy bien. Disfrutaron de paseos y algunas obras teatrales del Broadway. La sala de cines es una competencia de las escuelas high y la intermedia que es parecida al juego de Jeopardy. Felicidades al equipo de la Fairgrounds intermedia que tomarán el segundo lugar después de una baltera fiera en la competición. El Club de Drama está trabajando en una nueva presentación de teatro y comedia. El programa deportivo de las mañanas está muy fuerte, con más de 50 estudiantes miembros. Si desean participar, ve con el señor Haki. La semana de las secretarias fue durante las vacaciones. Queremos decir que tenemos las mejores, siempre atentas y dispuestas a ayuda. Esto es Areli con las noticias de la escuela. Si tienen algo que reportar, comunicarse conmigo o la señora G. Un gran gracias para la señora Díaz.
Fairgrounds Middle School and 21st Century proudly present Old Time Radio, The Dead Laugh.
Welcome to The Dead Laugh, first aired on September 23, 1946, starring Moni Yu as Spencer, David Fisher as Judge Thornton, Isabella Baker Villarreal as Laura Thornton, Ariana Battistone as Margaret Cummings, Dylan Quadros as Dr. Fletcher, and Michaela Colburn as the police officer. And I, your host, Tori Merrifield. Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host to welcome you through the squeaking door. Well, been shopping around for a nice case of murder? Of course you have. And you've come to the right place, because the characters on this program simply kill themselves to keep you amused. Why, only the other day we were accused of making murder our business. But we wouldn't do that, friends. Oh no, because that would be mixing business with pleasure, and we consider it a pleasure to give some stiff the business. And now, friends, tonight's story is a triangle tale concerning a man, a woman, and a murderer. You've heard it said that those who laugh last laugh best, but we're going to prove that it never pays to get into a laughing contest with a ghost, because ghosts always get the last laugh.
I know he's dead. His body's been in the grave for weeks. And yet, although I tell myself it is impossible, I can hear him laugh. The raucous mocking sounds haunts me. Some laugh that I heard for the first time in the courtroom. He'd never laughed during all the weeks of the trial, never even smiled. But this day, when he came before me for sentencing. John Spencer, you have been found guilty of murder in first degree. Do you wish to make a statement before sentence is improved?
I killed Hicks. I'm willing to admit it now, but he was no good. He got just what he deserved. Everybody knows it. I'm not a killer. I never committed a crime before, and all I ask now is a chance.
John Spencer, the jury took all that into consideration when it recommended life imprisonment. However, I have the power to ignore the recommendation. It is my firm conviction to allow one man to take the law into his own hands is to encourage others to do likewise. I therefore override the recommendation of the jury and sentence you to be hung by the neck until dead.
No, Judge, please. I've got a girl. We were going to be married. All I ask now is to live so I can see her once in a while.
You should have thought about that before you committed a murder.
It's easy for you to tell me what I should have done, but you won't always be on top. Maybe someday you'll be down here where I am. And when that happens, I hope they throw the book at you just like you're doing to me.
Bailiff, remove the prisoner.
Won't I be laughing when that happens? Wherever I am, I'll be laughing fit to bust.
Some old story prisoner pleads innocence of guilty with good cause, asks mercy when clemency is refused. Condemned man curses judge and hopes the judge will someday find himself in a similar plight. Spencer's outburst failed to move me in the slightest. I had heard it many times before. I went home to forget about the Spencer case.
Richard? Is that you, Richard?
Yes, dear. I'll come in as soon as I've freshened up.
Come right now. I've been waiting here all day. Surely it's not too much to ask.
All right, Laura. I'm coming.
Richard, I want you to meet my new nurse, Margaret Cummings. This is Judge Thornton, Miss Cummings.
How do you do?
Miss Cummings, haven't we met before?
That's hardly likely. It's probably my face. It's so ordinary.
On the contrary, Miss Cummings, I should say your face is rather unusual.
Richard, suppose you stop that silly chatter about faces and talk to Mrs. Cummings about her duties.
Very well. Come into my study, Miss Cummings. We can talk better there. Sit down, please. There's not much to say, really. In the first place, my wife's heart condition isn't really dangerous.
Yes, I gathered that from Dr. Fletcher.
Oh, he told you about my wife, eh?
Oh, yes.
You're a professional nurse, and I believe in frankness, it makes things easier. My wife is 11 years my senior, getting on past middle age. She is a bit worried. Not that I give her any grounds for it. Jealous, you understand?
Perfectly.
She's not an easy person to get along with. You'll have to humor her.
I'll do my best.
And, Miss Cummings?
Yes?
I was just wondering where it was that I saw you before. It escapes me. You know, Miss Cummings, your face is rather haunting. That was how it began. We played a game during those first few weeks. I would ask, Miss Cummings, where was it that I first saw you?
Don't you remember yet?
No, I don't.
Well, I do, and someday, if you're nice, I'll tell you.
We would laugh together. Having the girl in the house made me feel young again. It didn't last. It ended one evening in Laura's room.
Richard?
Yes, dear?
Put down that newspaper. I want to talk to you.
I'm listening.
Don't you think you're going a bit too far, Richard?
Too far? What do you mean?
I mean Miss Cummings.
Ew.
I won't stand for it. I won't allow you to disgrace me in my own home with a woman who's little more than a servant.
Oh, Laura, for heaven's sake.
I may be a bedridden invalid, but there is a limit.
You're jumping to ridiculous conclusions, Laura.
Ridiculous, am I? I suppose you'll deny you're in love with Miss Cummings, that you've been carrying on with her right under my nose.
Certainly. I deny it.
I've got eyes, Richard. I've seen you two whispering together. I've watched how you look at her.
Oh, you're talking utter nonsense. There's nothing between me and Miss Cummings.
Nothing?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I'll give you a chance to prove what you say. I don't want Miss Cummings here. Dismiss her.
You want me to dismiss her?
Yes, Richard, I do.
Miss Cummings, well, this is going to be rather unpleasant. You see, my wife...
Yes, I know. She wants me to leave.
Yes, how did you know?
I couldn't help overhearing the conversation.
Well, then you also know why she wants you to leave?
Yes, but you warned me when I first came here that she was jealous.
Yes, it was very pleasant having you here.
Thank you.
I'm going to miss you, Miss Cummings. Could I have your home address?
Of course. Why do you want it?
I hope you won't think I'm presumptuous, but, well, perhaps we might be able to see each other.
Would that be wise?
No, it wouldn't be wise, but as well face it, I couldn't hide from it, Laura, and now I can't hide it from myself. I love you, Miss Cummings. That night, I heard Spencer's laugh for the first time since the day in the courtroom. I set it down as a figment of imagination, born out of feeling of guilt due to my disloyalty to Laura. I put it out of my mind. I had other things to think about. The slip of paper with Margaret Cummings' address on it was in my pocket. A dozen times during the next week, I picked up the telephone to call her, but something held me back. It was fear, I guess. Fear that if I saw her again, I would be taking my final irrevocable step. But then I couldn't stand it any longer without seeing her. I dialed her number.
Hello?
Is that you, Margaret?
Yes, who is this?
This is Richard.
Richard?
Judge Thornton?
Oh, hello. How are you? It's been so long. I thought you'd forgotten me.
There's little chance could I see you tonight, Margaret?
Why, yes, of course. Come over as soon as you like.
I dressed carefully, examining myself in the mirror. I saw a tall man still on the right side of 50. I still trim in figure and distinguished in appearance. When I got to Margaret's apartment, my heart was beating fast, like a boy on his first date somehow. I don't know quite how it happened. She was in my arms. I was kissing her.
Oh, Richard.
My darling.
Oh, no, we're being foolish.
Sit down, darling, here, beside me.
Like this?
That's perfect, Margaret. Would you marry me?
Marry? You can't be serious.
I was never more in earnest in my life.
Aren't you forgetting a little detail?
No, I'm not forgetting about Laura. She has a weak heart. She may die, and if she dies...
I wouldn't count on it. Your wife takes very good care of herself. She may live to be 100.
But if she should die, would you marry me?
I don't know. It's not fair to ask me now. Not while your wife is still alive. Ask me later.
Oh, Richard, did you have a pleasant evening at the club?
I didn't go to the club, Laura.
No?
No, I lied to you. I spent the evening with Margaret Cummings.
Richard!
You were right. I'm in love with her. I never knew what love meant before. I can't live without her.
You're mad. You don't know what you're saying.
I want a divorce, Laura.
Divorce? No!
I want it immediately.
You can't do this to me. Oh, my heart.
What?
Now see what you've done?
Laura?
Oh, the shock. My pills, Richard. Give them to me. Hurry, Richard.
I knew she was pretending the heart attack, hoping to play on my sympathy. That was Laura's favorite trick. It always worked before. Not this time. This time I would pretend until I was ready to act. I gave her the pills, watched her take them, and sink back on the pillow.
Whew. Oh, thank you, Richard.
Feel better now?
Yes, dear, much better. I don't know what I'd have done without you here. I would have died. Oh, Richard, say you didn't mean what you said before. Don't you see? I couldn't go on living without you.
You won't have to, Laura.
Then you won't leave me for that girl?
I'll take care of you. Here, let me make your pillow more comfortable. Your pillow needs rearranging.
Yes, it does. Richard, what are you doing?
I'm fixing the pillow.
No.
Lie still. Stop twisting around. This isn't much different from a heart attack. Laura, she's dead.
Hello?
Dr. Fletcher?
Yes.
This is Judge Thornton. Please come quickly, doctor. My wife has had a heart attack.
It happened during an argument.
It was nothing important, doctor. Just a domestic quarrel. And suddenly she had a heart attack. I gave her the pills, but by the time it was too late.
That's too bad.
If I'd only known that her heart condition had become so dangerous.
Oh, Judge, you've nothing to reproach yourself. These things happen.
Will you take care of the formalities, doctor?
Oh, yes, of course.
The death certificate?
I'll list it as a cause of failure of the heart.
There was no need to act the part of the stricken husband after Dr. Fletcher left. I stood looking down at Laura's body. She was dead, and Dr. Fletcher's certificate would clear me of any suspicion of murder. I was free to marry Margaret. I walked to Margaret's apartment that night. The street was dark, empty. I had the uncomfortable feeling that I was being watched. Followed. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I hurried my place. He came towards me, his face and figure shadowy in the dark. What do you want? Why are you following me?
You ought to know, Judge Thornton.
Who are you? Come closer so I can... Spencer! John Spencer! It can't be! You're dead!
Dead, am I? Well, you ought to know, Judge.
Now take it easy, mister. Take it easy. Just tell me what happened.
I was being followed, officer, so I turned around to see who it was.
And did you see who it was?
Yes, and that's why I fainted. The man following me was a dead man.
He was, what's that?
The man following me is dead. I know he's dead, officer.
I ought to run you in. You're crazy.
I had intended to tell Margaret that Laura was dead. I meant to ask her to marry me, but the encounter on the street drove those thoughts out of my mind. Arriving at her apartment, I went directly to the window and looked out. And there, across the street, leaning against the wall, I saw John Spencer.
Richard, I'm insulted.
What?
You didn't kiss me. You haven't even said hello.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. But that man across the street, he can't be real. And yet, if he isn't...
What man, Richard?
Don't you see him?
No, there's no one across the street.
He was there a moment ago. I turned my head to look to you, and now he's gone.
Darling, you're trembling. You must be sick.
Don't look at me like that.
Richard, what's the matter?
I guess I'm sick. I better go to have a talk with Dr. Fletcher.
Yes, I remember the Spencer case very well, Judge Thornton. You could have spared Spencer's life, but you didn't. And now you imagine that he follows you?
Yes?
But the man is dead.
Then it was his ghost that followed me. His ghost I spoke to. His ghost that laughs.
There are no ghosts, Judge Thornton, with one exception, the ghost we carry about inside of us.
What do you mean?
Well, these things you hear and see, these are hallucinations brought by feelings of guilt. Spencer's been dead for weeks, so the question is, why should you experience guilt feelings at this late date?
I don't know.
Well, psychiatry has an explanation. Quite often in such cases, one refuses to face guilt, object, and transfers his guilt feelings to some other person.
What are you driving at?
I'm suggesting that your guilt feelings are not caused by Spencer's incident, and I'm going to ask you a blunt question. Did you murder your wife?
Why, of all the idiotic.
Now, just a moment, Judge. Just a moment. I've been rather uneasy about the circumstances of Miss Thornton's death.
Why, but you yourself diagnosed it as a heart attack.
I accepted what you told me that night. A superficial examination of the body did indicate such a conclusion, yes, but your wife's cardiac condition was mild, and now your guilt feelings led to me to suspect.
This murder talk is ridiculous. Were there any signs of struggle? Any marks of violence? Of course not.
Miss Thornton might have been suffocated.
Oh, nonsense.
Perhaps at any rate, I intend to recommend at the corner of an autopsy to be performed.
An autopsy?
Yes, it would determine whether or not the death was due to suffocation. You should have no objection, if I am mistaken.
You meddling fool.
Judge Thornton, put down that paperweight.
You're so clever.
Stay away from me.
I've gone too far now to stop at another murder. I lost my head. I should have agreed to the autopsy. That would have given me a day or two in which to plan my escape. But now, as things were, it would be only a matter of hours before Fletcher's body was discovered. My thoughts twisted and turned in panic.
Maybe someday you'll be down here where I am. Won't I be laughing when that happens? Wherever I am, I'll be laughing fit to bust.
I ran like a frightened child. I need help. And there was no one to turn to. Margaret, she loved me. She'd help me. I went to Margaret and told her what had happened.
You killed your wife?
For you, so we could be married.
And then Dr. Fletcher?
I had to kill him, Margaret. He was going to recommend an autopsy.
Why did you come here?
We've got to run away. We still have an hour or two. We could charter a plane to Canada or Mexico.
What makes you think I'd run away with you?
I thought you loved me.
Don't be stupid. I'm going to turn you over to the police.
Margaret, you can't mean that.
Can't I? Just watch me.
Margaret, listen. Before you pick up the phone, even if you don't love me, even if you don't want to go with me, give me a chance. Have mercy.
You make me laugh, Judge Thornton, who never gave anybody else a break, pleading for mercy. Will turn around and ask the man behind you for mercy.
Behind me?
That's right.
Spencer! John Spencer!
Take another look, Judge.
No, you're not John Spencer. That's a resemblance, but you're not John Spencer.
I'm his brother.
You're the man that was following me.
That's right.
I was tricked, led on by Margaret to kill my wife, and forced by you to betray myself to Dr. Fletcher. But why? Why, Margaret? Why did you do this?
For revenge.
Revenge?
Yes. The first day I came to your house, you thought my face was familiar. Well, now I'll tell you where it was that you first saw me. I was in the courtroom at John Spencer's trial.
Courtroom? Yes. Yes.
Yes. Remember how he begged for mercy? He told you he had a girl, that he was engaged to be married, and you could have given him his life, but you sentenced him to death.
Were you the girl?
Yes.
Spencer, did he know about this?
All this was his plan, his revenge. Hello, operator? Give me police headquarters. I want to report a murder. Yes, that's right, a murder. Tell them it's very important to get here as soon as they can.
I'm waiting now for the police to come for the trial, for the sentence which I know will be death. As I wait, my thoughts go back to the courtroom.
You won't always be on top. Maybe someday you'll be down here where I am, and when that happens, I'll be laughing.
Well, Judge Thornton certainly misjudged Margaret Cummings, which was a grave mistake. Why, he didn't have the ghost of a chance with her. She double-crossed him right into the graveyard. Oh, a word of caution. If you must commit a murder, be sure to select the proper weapon. I suggest a sharp-edged axe because it provides you with a handy alibi. When the police wanted to know why he did it, he claimed the killing was accidental.